Hello, how are you all? First off, I want to thank you all for wanting to be a part of our Kids Bash this year. My name is Joshua Banks. I am the owner of Flex for Change, and we put together our Kids Bash and a ton of other events throughout the year. So I appreciate you all for taking the time out of your busy schedules to dedicate to our kids this year. So I truly appreciate it. We're going to get into some information on your specific job description that you will be signing up for this year. It's imperative that whatever job you're put in charge of, that you stay on top of it. We want to provide a safe and fun place for our kids and our parents to interact at, so that they can come again next year and just make it a memorable experience. So it's really up to our volunteers, it's up to our staff to make sure that they have that experience, and that's what we ultimately want to provide. So, like I said, I want to thank you all. Without you all, we wouldn't be able to make this event happen, and it wouldn't be possible. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into the introduction, give you some information on what we expect out of our volunteers. And then after that, I'm going to go through the specific roles and description of whatever job that you signed up for, and then we should be good. So, as you're watching this, I'm going to stay on point. I'm going to be looking down and up, just kind of staying on task with the printout that you will be given for your job description, and I'll go through it and I'll give you more information of things that I feel like you need to know. All right, so volunteer orientation, things that we're going to cover throughout this quick video. So our mission, what we expect, what we want, a volunteer position description, and the breaks that you'll receive throughout the day. Okay, what is our mission? Flex for Change is an organization driven by making legitimate changes in the Hampton Roads Tidewater area through creative and engaging community events designed to teach, inspire, and encourage our youth, and to promote charity and nonprofit organizations that support the 757 and abroad. So, to condense that, pretty much all we do as a organization, we try to meet the needs of what's going on in Hampton Roads. So our Kids Bash that you all will be working at, we're promoting health and wellness for our kids. We also do an event for autism, for homeless, canned food drive, and tons of other areas. And we just kind of find out, what we want to focus on, what needs more involvement, or whatever the case may be, and we try to really zero in on that and see how we can be of help, be of service. So the Kids Bash is our biggest event, as for the past 2 years we've become the nation's largest kids fitness event, and that's our claim to fame, and we want to continue to grow it, not just grow it to the Hampton Roads. Next year we're looking to take it out and have this event in the DMV area, whether DC or Maryland. Also maybe making it to where for the first time ever we'll have it a second day this year. So it's a lot of possibilities, but it's all dependent upon this year, how successful this year is going, so we can continue to grow and expand. All right. Volunteer expectations: uphold standards and behave appropriately as you are a representation of our company. Sometimes I feel like it goes without saying, but everyone should know, anytime you put on Kids Bash, anytime you put on Flex for Change, you are the representation of the company. Someone can get online and say, well, Flex for Change is horrible because it's in that. So please be mindful. We are a family-friendly organization. Always be on the best behavior. Be patient. And just put your best foot forward. You know what I mean? So I would greatly appreciate that. Staying professional at all times, because you're a reflection of us, and we really want to find the best volunteers. And we hope by you watching this video, you truly can care about your community and truly care about representing us in a positive light. So dress appropriately for your assigned areas and tasks. Clothes must be neat, clean, and appropriate for the event. So you probably want to wear some sneakers. You're going to be walking quite a bit, possibly, depending on the position. But I just think it makes sense to wear sneakers so your feet's not hurting, because it's going to be a long day. Jeans are fine. Shorts are fine. I'm recommending blue jeans so everybody can kind of look somewhat congruent, but you can also wear jean shorts and things of that nature as well. We're asking that you wear a white undershirt or just a plain undershirt, so that after the event, when we collect after the event, we will collect the volunteer shirts back from you also. We can recycle, wash, and use them for our other events throughout the year. So make sure you bring a backup shirt so that before you leave, we can get those volunteer shirts back from you. It says clothes must be neat, clean, and appropriate to the event. Just make sure you look presentable. Okay. Commit to your provided schedule and arrive on time to your volunteer assignment. It's imperative that you arrive on time. This event is solely dependent on how well our volunteers are in position and how well they execute. If we're missing a person at our registration table, everything goes awry. Everything's off. So it's important to get there at 10:30 a.m. sharp. We'll have another review, make sure everyone's prepared. We should have a lot of people in the building, a lot of kids, a lot of parents. So we want to make sure everyone is informed about the position, knows the position front and back, and feel knowledgeable. So in order to do that, you got to get there early. Let's see. Review your assignment description and the position requirements. Make sure Miss Melissa, she is the volunteer director. She's going to send you a pamphlet, a printout of your position. And that's actually what I'm looking at now. So you'll be able to follow this as we go along. And I'm probably going to be on the top of your screen somewhere. But you're going to be following this as I'm going over it. And after I give you my personal things that for your job, if you feel like there's anything missing or there's not clarity on certain things, please reach out to us. Please message us, because we want you to feel as comfortable as possible going into the event day. Report any incident involving injury to your position supervisor or to your volunteer coordinator. Like I said earlier, we want to provide a safe and fun place for the kids and parents to play. So we're going to have a lot of different activities. We're going to have a lot of bounce houses, things where people are moving. So we want to make sure that it's a safe environment. So we want to make sure if we see something hazardous, we move it out the way. We let someone know. Also, if you see someone injured, go to someone immediately, because we will have a nurse on standby at the event. So we want to make sure that they're seen as soon as possible. So, all right. So what we want from the event, we want to provide fun for the kids. That's our first and foremost. We want to make sure they have a great time. In order to make sure they have a great time, everyone has to stay in their selected areas and make sure they're doing their job to the best of their abilities. So we want to have fun for the kids. We want to have a big impact. Being the nation's largest kids fitness event, you don't see anything like that too often come around. So we want to understand our impact and really seize the moment and really make this something that Virginia as a whole can be proud of and can stand behind. Fun volunteer environment. We want to make it fun for you all. You know, we understand that you're taking your time out of your day when you could be doing a ton of other things. You could be going to the pool, whatever the case may be. So we want to make it a fun environment for you so that you want to come back and volunteer with us. So we'll make sure you're going to get adequate breaks. We have it to where it's set up with our food vendors that they know who the volunteers are, and they're going to be giving you discounts as soon as you come. I don't know exactly how each one's going to give it, how much each one's going to give a discount, but they're going to give you food discount. Also, we'll have it to where pretty much everybody will at least get an hour break. So not only will you get to work the event, you get a chance to enjoy the event as well, interact with the people, maybe get on a few games yourself, get some great food, and then get back to assisting where needed. All right, so now we're going to go right into the job descriptions. All right, here we go. So we're going to go into the description and job roles for the vendor correspondents and the registration tables. So I'll briefly describe vendor correspondence. So vendor correspondence is an important position, as this position is integral in keeping our vendors and sponsors happy, informed, and welcome. For our registration table attendants help registrants by educating the guests on what is expected of them, as well as what they can expect at the event. So what we'll do, we'll talk about registration tables first, and we'll proceed on from there. Okay. So for the setup for the registration table, it's going to be 6 tables, 3 volunteers at each table. To be completely frank, Registration is an area last year that we struggled in. We didn't have a great system. The people at our registration table weren't trained appropriately before the event, so it was a little confusion there. So we want to make sure that if you're at the registration table, you ask all the questions you think you may need to ask. You definitely follow and watch this video. You ask any questions before, and you definitely want to make sure that you get to the event early so that you can get the proper training so that everything just runs smoothly. Most of our problems we get is at registration as parents can ask questions, so on and so forth. So you want to make sure you're versed on everything. So that the morning of, if you get there at 10:30, we're going to run through some tests and some demos to make sure you're good to go so that you can feel secure in your answering and your knowledge of anything an attendee might ask you. All right, so it's broken into 3 different groups, our 6 tables. So we have our Groupon tables, our pre-registration tables, and our walk-in tables. So 3 people sitting at a table, right? The first person, if you go to the Groupon table, so the Groupon are people that purchase through Groupon before the event. We'll do that one first. So the first person sitting at the table is taking care of check-in. They're making sure their name's on the list. If they need to redeem the Groupon and scan that through, they'll take care of that. The second person, while that first person is doing all that, is writing on the wristband, going ahead and writing the parent's name on the wristband, the child's name on the wristband, so that for security measures, it matches. So you write in the name and the parent's phone number on both wristbands. So that if a child gets lost, you can see the parent's name on the wristband, you can call that number, so on and so forth. The goal is to have all 3 people at the table working together and super efficient. So check-in, wristband, that's the second person. The third person sitting at the table is going to be the person that communicates to the parent about our vendor card system. You're going to give them a vendor card, the itinerary, anything that they might need throughout the event. So, for instance, our vendor card system. Parents must get their vendor card signed off by every vendor at the event. At the end of the event, they'll turn that vendor card in to win 20 raffle tickets, which gives them the opportunity to win some amazing prizes. So we want to make sure that it gets in the parents' hands, and it's also communicated to them that they have to stop by the vendors before the event's over so that they can stand a chance to win those prizes. So going back over it again, first person is check-in. Second person is writing down the names of the parent's name and the parent's phone number on. It only has to be for one parent. One parent, whatever parent that has the wristbands on, has to stay with that child the entire event. Third person is giving them the vendor card and then sending them on their way to get their shirts at the shirt table. So that's Groupon. Pre-registration table, the same thing. These are people that paid ahead of time. They already signed their waiver online. All they're doing is you're checking them in, asking their names. You're checking them on the list, making sure everything's taken care of. Move to the second person. That person is already writing their name on the wristband with their phone number. Third person, giving them the vendor card. Hey, this is our itinerary. Have a great time. Go and pick up your shirt from the shirt table. We'll have it positioned so that the shirt tables for your specific table, the shirt tables are right behind you. So after they go to Groupon, you'll direct them right behind you. They'll have a Groupon table for our shirts, so on and so forth. So, which leaves me with the third table, our walk-in table. This is a little bit more of the difficult table because now you have it to where people haven't purchased already and people haven't signed their waivers or done anything or purchased their shirts. So at the walk-in table is going to be a little different. We're still going to have 3 people at the table, but those 3 people at the table have to work a little bit more efficient and be on the same page and communicating. So it'll be the same process as far as check-in. You'll check in, but you'll also, with check-in, you'll make sure they sign a waiver and make sure you receive the payment, okay? After that, it will be the wristbands. And after that, it'll be the vendor card. This table is also going to communicate with the shirt table, letting them know when receiving the information for the waivers, so on and so forth. We're going to find out, we need to find out their shirt size. So we can make sure, hey, you're communicating with someone at the shirt table saying, hey, we need an extra large and so on and so forth. they're going to make sure they have what is needed to make sure um, they can be placed on the team, or there's enough shirts left. We also will have a shirt printer off to the side, so if we run out of shirts, we'll be able to print shirts right there at the event. So it's a lot going on at the walk-in table. That's why whoever works a walk-in table, I definitely want them to be experienced or comfortable in, I guess, high pressure situations, or if things get backed up. And those are the individuals that are definitely going to have a little bit tougher over time, because it's a few more steps to it. So all in all, we'll have our supervisors around. If anybody has any questions at any tables, I know when it comes to money and registrations, it can get confusing. So per each table, there will be a supervisor is dedicated to making sure everything's running smooth. So, of course, even after this video, it's going to be questions. It's going to be things that you don't understand. But ideally, if you come to the event at 10:30 like you're supposed to, we're going to run through a few demos. By the time the event starts, everybody should be good to go. Okay. So I kind of briefly went over the 3-point checkoff system, but I'll read it real fast. 1, identify if the attendee pre-register is a walk-in and either confirm payment or receive payment. Number 2, give attendee the wristband color for whether they are pre-registered or walk-in. On the wristband, write the adult and supervision's full name and phone number, and child associated. 3, explain the vendor card system, how it works. Let them know giveaways will occur every 30 minutes during the event, and encourage them to visit all the vendor tables. Direct them to the appropriate table to get their shirt. So pretty much everything I went over in the last few minutes. 3-point check system. Want to make sure that they're informed that the security measure of making sure the wristbands match, making sure we're getting those payments in and they're actually on the list. So, being that our registration table should start dwindling down. The event starts at 2. People should have already been registered by then. By around 2:30, we're going to start breaking down the registration tables. We're not going to need 14, 16 people at registration. We're going to probably go down to maybe 2 to stay there for the stragglers that are still coming in. We can take care of them. So let's go into vendor correspondence, because those that work the registration will have to relieve our vendor correspondence. So it's important that you pay attention not only to registration, but also to the role of the vendor correspondence as well. Some of the requirements for the vendor correspondence: greet all businesses with a great attitude and try to be respectful and kind at all times. Responsible and assigned to specific vendors, sponsors to provide them assistance during the event. Assist all vendor sponsors in the setting up and breaking down of the table for the event. Direct vendor and sponsor drop-offs to ensure each company is pulling up to the gate that is the closest to the hallway for setup. We're still going down. Making periodic rounds, promoting the vendor cards, making sure every attendee has a vendor card and are aware of the gift giveaways, and encouraging attendees to stop by all vendor tables. Keep a line of communication with all vendor correspondents and team leads throughout the event with our Flex for Change walkie-talkies to help with efficiency and turnaround time. Provide electrical output connections for each vendor sponsor that has requested access to an electric source. Access. The last one, review vendor sponsor placement chart at all times to be aware of where all businesses are positioned and be able to forward event guests to specific tables at their request. Okay, long story short, our vendor correspondence will have 2 vendors that are responsible for a certain amount of tables. So Jesse and Bob, they're going to be responsible for tables 1 through 10. 2 other people are going to be responsible for 11 through whatever. So the goal is the tables that you're assigned to, you're going to see after their every need, right? If they need electrical access, you give them extension cords, make sure they reach. We want to make sure that it stays as hazard-free zone, so we're taping down whatever electrical cord so it's running along the walls. Giving them water, making sure that you're engaging with the attendees walking around, making sure attendees have a registration card that was explained to them that they need to make these rounds. Promoting their table, helping bring more traffic to their table. Essentially, this role doesn't have to be on the floor at all times, but you definitely want to make sure, as long as all our vendors are taken care of, they have everything they need, and you're making your rounds periodically, talking to people, engaging for people on behalf of the vendors, it's going to do great for us, because ideally, now you're helping the vendors get business. You're giving them leads, and that's going to be just a great situation for us and the event, because our goal is to bring these vendors, sponsors back every year to want to help make this event bigger and better. So that's essentially what you'll be doing the entire time. Seeing if there's anything I missed. Also, setup and breakdown. When vendors are coming in, we're going to also have someone outside directing the traffic, making sure they're pulling up to the correct gate, making sure when they're coming in and setting up the tables that someone's helping them. So that's that. We're going to go into our breaks. Okay, so like I said earlier, the registration table after 2:30 is going to dwindle down. We're going to flex down, probably leave 2 to 4 people at the registration table to help with whoever else is coming in. So after that, we're going to give those at the registration table the opportunity to take a break. So the break's going to be an hour long. You take advantage of the food, take advantage of the vendors. You check out the vendors yourself. Have a great time. Get your face painted. Do whatever for that hour of time. While when you come back from the hour break at 3:30, you're gonna cover now for the vendor correspondence. So, like I said, it's important for registration table to know what the vendor correspondence do, and even when you relieve the vendor correspondence, it's important to get a pass down. Say, okay, this is what this vendor needs. They need this, or whatever the case may be, so that when you're talking to the people relieving you, you all are on the same page. Then vendor correspondence, you all will take a break from 3:30 to 4:30. At 4:30, you'll come back from your break, and you'll go back to doing your duties. The registration table, being that there shouldn't be anything left for registration to do, you'll just pretty much break down. So whatever was over in registration, you'll straighten it up. You start putting it together and compiling it as we're slowly starting to come to the end of our event. After that, if there's an area that's needed and whatever, just maybe help someone that hasn't already had a break, help with straightening up, cleaning up, making sure the facility is staying tip-top shape and looking great. So that's how the breaks go for both positions. What I'll end on saying is, this is huge. This is one of the biggest jobs, especially registration table. Also, the vendor correspondence. We have some huge sponsors this year with the likes of Dave & Buster's, Sky Zone, Children's Museum of Virginia, Saberation. The list goes on. And Z104. So, in order for them to come back, in order for them to support our community, and our kids in the way that we are, is to make sure that we take care of them. So they're doing an amazing thing, but you all are doing an amazing thing by helping continue this on. So without you all, we wouldn't be able to do this. So I want you all to know that I'm super appreciative. We want to take this to the next level. So continue to promote. Everything's appreciated as we're coming into the final days of the Kids Bash. Please post about it. Please share. Please tell a friend. Make sure you're using the Facebook frames. And if you have any questions on how to do that, we can definitely help you. So, like I said, we appreciate you. Thank you. Continue to push. We're trying to take this to the next level, and we can't make that happen without you. Make sure you show up and are on time and punctual. I want to see those smiling faces. The kids are dependent upon you to make for the memory of a lifetime. That's what we try to provide here at Kids Bash every year. We always try to push the bar to make it something that these kids will never forget. So thank you for being a part of that. I appreciate you all. Take care.